Hello everybody, it is, I don't know what time it is actually, what time is it? 8:30 in the AM and I'm heading out to meet Dan from UK Bike Fit to do a Q&A with him. We're going on a nice little ride to a lovely cafe, always got to be a cafe en route, and we're going to ask some of the questions that you guys asked us. So to be honest, it'll be Dan doing most of the answering. Oh, Chester's decided to go upstairs because he's the bike fitter, he knows what he's doing, and I'm just there to annoy him and ask the questions really, so let's go. Oh, and on a little side note, I've got my lovely Santini Grand Depart for the Women's Tour de France, Tour de Femme, on because John from lovely Santini UK sent me this, and it's a week today until the Tour de Femme start and I can't wait really, so I thought let's be bright, let's be seen, let's wear the jersey. Right, well Dan's pulled up, just an average 6 minutes late.
It's 7:36 on the dot, as we agreed.
Is it?
9:36.
I hope it's not 7, otherwise I got it way too early.
I was watching the Olympics.
Well, I'll let you off though, because I do love the Olympics.
Yeah, it's the triathletes' fault for triathloning so slow.
Yeah,
if they'd have gone quicker, I'd have been here quicker.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
Right, anyway, I've planned a nice, lovely flat route.
It's me a route, and the profile's just like this. Like, oh, I'm getting dropped today then.
Oh Lord, I set this route. I've got purple on the Garmin already. Have you been up here before, Dan?
I've driven up it, and the car struggled, so. Oh,
great. I just looked at Strava and just kind of drew some lines. I didn't really look where we were going. I didn't expect to go up this blooming buggy. Oh God, jeez. This is waking me up on a Monday morning, I tell you that. Right, so we're having a lovely chat riding along, then we realised we've not actually done any questions, so time for question number 1. The pros and cons of MTB versus road cleats. What are road SPD?
Road is SPDSL.
SPDSL.
Or, yeah.
Right, so Dan.
Road is SPD.
Okay.
That's the easiest way to describe it.
Right.
Pros and cons. Let's do SPD first.
Yeah, is that what you're wearing?
No, you're wearing SPDs.
Oh right, I'll take my shoe off then. These,
no
are they in good condition, Dan?
They're not bad, yeah. Not bad for you.
It's not bad for me. Actually, they have been coming loose, but I've tightened them up more now. So. I have mine slammed back as well. We'll talk about that later.
Yes, yes.
Anyway.
But the pros are, you can walk in them easier.
I'm on 1 foot. Hang on. I'm on 1 foot. Right, off we go.
You can walk in them easier.
Yeah.
You can clip in and out easier, arguably. There's more float, so some people find them a bit more comfortable to have a bit more movement on your foot on the pedal. And that's about it really.
Yeah.
There's like pros and cons to the shoes that you have to wear for SPD pedals as well, but that's a whole different topic, I guess. I guess the only thing is like, yeah, as long as you've got like a carbon soled shoe for an SPD pedal, that's probably the most important thing, because the pedals, this is a con, the pedals are smaller and the cleats are smaller, so the contact point on your foot is smaller.
These are the pedals for the off-road.
So a carbon soled shoe being stiffer will spread that pressure out across your foot more.
Right.
Whereas a road pedal are generally a bit bigger and wider, so that pressure's getting spread through the pedal.
Can you have a look at your road pedal?
Mine are speed play.
Oh, different.
So slightly different.
Yeah.
So there's loads of different road pedals, SPDSL, Shimano Look, Speed Play, Time, but they do all generally have like a bigger contact point.
Right.
So that's a pro of a road pedal. And then a con is probably the opposite of the SPD, so they're a bit harder to walk in. Like if you're getting on and off the bike a lot, doing audaxes or cafe rides or bike packing, you'd probably want an SPD.
Yeah.
And they're a little bit like more fiddly to clip in and out of, but once you've got the hang of it, it's fine.
Yeah, I used to ride in only road shoes until I discovered the MTB. I call them MTB, is that right?
Yeah.
I discovered them this year. Now Dan's looking at me going like this, and we shouldn't do that, should I?
It's fine, they're free.
Yeah, so we'll demonstrate how to put the shoe on correctly in a minute. But I actually switched to MTB this year because of all the bike touring and audaxes I do. It's so much easier to walk around top of the hill dance with less risk of falling over, so it's a positive for me. But I do find when I'm in a road shoe, my feet feel more secure, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
People like the feeling of being like locked into the pedal a bit more.
Yeah.
From a fit point of view as well, the stack height of a road pedal is generally a bit lower, so your foot is physically closer to the pedal rather than being further away, which it increases your stability and support from the pedal.
Right. But I've actually found, I don't know if it's the shoes, but my knees are better with MTB. But
yeah, it can be, because if you get more movement on the pedal, then knees can be happier, especially if you're doing long distance or endurance riding.
So yeah, there you go. Do you want a tight fit or a loose fit? Basically, it's the question for you. Right, so one of the questions was, what is the correct way to put on a shoe, your road shoe? Now Dan did actually tell me it's not the way I just did it a minute ago. Take it off first, make sure it's all, you know, loose. Dan, what do you think of the cleanliness of these?
Yeah, it's all right. It's all right. There's a little bit of grubby around the seams, but that's okay.
I'm really unhappy about it. Kyle did spill a coffee on it on an order.
That'll be that then.
Anyway, now Dan, you're going to tell me off, aren't you? But I think you put your foot in, little tap, then down, top one first, nice and tight, and then the bottom one. Is that right?
Perfect.
So
yeah, we've done that before, haven't we?
Down, tighten. Yeah, that's the correct way. Just make sure that your heel's nice and secure in. So, also, don't do them too tight because well, especially for me on a long distance, sometimes I've done them too tight and then it's like hurting. So just not too tight, just the right level. Oh, this is lovely. We're in Shipley Park. Well, Dan was just telling me that they do a cyclocross race in Shipley Park where we are now, and Kyle has spoken about wanting to do one.
Kyle's getting on it. I'm going to persuade him.
Can you do it on his gravel bike?
Yeah, you can do it on anything. People do it on a mountain bike.
Oh goodness, when is it?
It's normally, the one here is normally early in the winter, so the weather's actually normally pretty good. So it's basically just like a crit on grass.
Oh right, well, we'll see that Kyle doing that. I will not be partaking, I'll just be videoing that and laughing at him when he falls off. And climb 5 of 9, we've decided we're stopping to do the questions at intervals because it's too hilly to answer questions while we're riding, so.
Or we're getting mowed down by traffic. So.
Yeah, or it's too noisy or windy, so we'll do lots of questions at the cafe basically. And let me tell you, this cafe is a winner. Dan's never been, so.
It's been given some hype, so it just needs to live up to it now.
It's really good. I've chosen the route with all the best road surfaces as well, so Dan's really happy about that.
Yeah, if the climb wasn't hard enough, just put a load of holes in the road, why not?
Oh, we're having a cafe night, and basically the cafe is just so good that it's completely full. There's no chairs anywhere or tables. I'm really upset about it. So we're gonna...
I think we should get a coffee, just stand next to someone's table, like drinking a coffee.
We're gonna go in and just look at the cakes and see what we could have had, and then we might have to go somewhere else. Although, unless there's a table in here, Dan, because there's no music on. So we could sit inside. We could sit here, but then we can't see our bikes, and that's reserved from 11. Oh, in 7 minutes. So basically, we're gonna have to go somewhere else. But Dan, I'll just show you what you could have had. Look at this. I know. I had this the other day. Okay, Dan wants to find a table now. Dan is just not willing to leave this cafe because it is so good. So basically, we're going to answer some questions by this bin over here, and we're going to just keep an eye on tables. And as soon as someone goes, we're pouncing, like you've never seen, like a puma. So anyway, like a leopard or whatever. I don't know. Right. So next question, Dan. As you get older, should you have a bike fit, like another bike fit, to account for age and flexibility?
In general, yes, but it depends on the person, I guess. So as your body changes, then you'd want to adapt your fit to your body, basically, because that's the whole process of a bike fit, is make sure the bike fits you. So if you change, you need to change your fit. But also, not just age, but injury, you know, like aches and pains, or the type of riding you do, or the type of bike you've got. Like, that's another reason why you want to update your fit. So obviously, the older you get, everyone gets tighter and less strong and a bit weaker as you age. But there's other factors why you might want to change your fit as well.
Perfect. We found a table. We can see a toddler being put in a pram. That means it's our cue. Oh, perfect. My day's been made now. It's all worked out in the end. Dan's just clearing the table because he pounced on it so quick they couldn't barely get away.
Shall I go and take it in?
Yeah, we can do. If you want, you might get a tip for that.
I know, yeah.
Who's actually going to take it in? Do you want me to help?
No, you're fine.
I mean, look at this. I mean, you can't beat this quality cafe. You get a lovely rug. I mean, it's probably infested with germs, but I'm not going to think about that. Oh, here's a real waiter. Thank you. Dan, you might as well just put it on here.
Sorry, mate. I'll take it to the house.
Take your job. He's a bit annoyed you tried to take his job. Right, so Dan says he always judges a cafe by the coffee list, so what are you thinking?
Yeah, it's not bad. They've got like stuff like macchiato. I like a cortado.
Cortado? What are they from?
Which they've not got. It's basically like flat white but with less milk.
Right.
It's just a smaller drink. They've not got a cortado, but they have got a macchiato.
What's a macchiato?
That is... Oh god, the coffee concern's going to like slate me if I'm getting this wrong. I think it's like a double espresso with foam on top, so no milk, just foam.
Just foam and milk?
Yeah.
Alright, well, I think that's a great selection. I'm going to go for, oh, I wonder what, chai latte. Like, Dan's gone up to order his macchiato froth thing, I don't blooming know. So while he's up there, I'll do the next question because it's one that I can answer. Someone asked, how do I get my new cycling friend to not wear knickers on a ride and know that they're not meant to wear pants? Basically, just embrace the no knickers, embrace the commando look, because it's a lot more comfy. Bib shorts are not designed for pants underneath, and when you wear knickers, it just makes the padding not work really, and you get knicker line as well, visible pant line, VPL, so it's a negative. Just a lot more comfy without them. Once you do it, it is a bit weird the first time because you feel a bit naked, but there's no going back. I mean, Kyle turned up to our first ever club ride with his boxers on, and you could just see them, and everyone was like, what are you wearing them for? And ever since, he doesn't wear them, so that's the thing, you don't wear pants when you ride. I was just answering the pants question.
Oh yeah?
I was just saying don't wear them basically.
Yeah, don't wear pants.
Yeah.
On the bike.
Yeah, well, yeah. Wear them at other times, please. Right, so the next question on the list is, what's the best way to decide what bike size to get if there's no bike shop nearby? I mean, I made this mistake when I first started riding. I had a bike that was way too big and we ended up having to sell it, so. Dan, what advice can you give?
Yeah, like if you've got a bike already and you're pretty happy with your position, assuming you've not had a bike fit before, then you can go on a website called geometrygeeks.bike, and on there you can compare your bike's geometry with any other bike, so you can see whether the height and the length of the frame is going to be similar, and if it's going to be pretty similar, then you know you can get the same sort of fit. If you've not got a bike, then I would go for a sizing somewhere. It's worth, even if you need to travel, it's worth travelling just to get a sizing to know what sort of bike is going to be good for you and your position. What was I going to say? What else was I going to say? There was another option. There was 3 options. If you've had a fit before was the other option. If you had a bike fit before, contact your bike fitter because they'll be able to tell you what sort of bikes you should be looking at. Right, his macchiato is in. It looks like he was right. There looks like 3 levels to that. I think he needs a stir.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
What else have you got?
Biscoff. Biscoff something. Brownie.
That's very nice.
Anything Biscoff that's me.
Biscoff is nice, even in porridge, it's nice. Do you like porridge?
I have porridge every morning.
So do I. Oh yes, what do you have in it?
I have. I have tiramisu protein powder with a little bit of chocolate spread, just it needs a bit of something sweet, and then a banana. That's my breakfast every morning. Every day? Every day, yeah.
Oh, that's nice, to be fair, but I don't like tiramisu, so it's not a bit of me. I have a different combo. So sometimes I have peanut butter in it, smooth.
What with though? A bit of fruit though?
No, just peanut butter. I have a pear on the side.
Yeah, so fruit.
Yeah, so there is fruit. I always have a pear with my breakfast. Sometimes if I'm really feeling naughty and it's a weekend, I have a bit of Biscoff in there.
With the peanut butter?
No, not with the peanut butter, just on its own. Then I sometimes have banana and chocolate protein powder.
Yeah.
And sometimes just plain, and sometimes with cinnamon.
Yeah, cinnamon's a good one, yeah. The thing is, I bought like a 1.6 kilo bag of this protein powder, so now I'm kind of ready for a change, but I've got to get through it. So.
Oh, I think that dog wants some of it over there.
It's getting his puppuccino.
Yeah, they do puppuccino here, blooming heck. Right, so I told Dan that this cafe was good, and now he believes. I mean, look at this. Chai latte. Don't know what this is, some sort of pineapple cake, looks great.
This is like a biscuit base with a ton of chocolate on top.
Oh yeah. Are you in heaven?
It's good.
Right, so the next question we've got is, what is the best way to replace your cleats?
Draw around them.
Okay, very simple.
Done. Literally just draw around them on the shoe. If you're precious about your shoes, just use like a chalk marker or something, or just Sharpie them. Yeah. So when you take one off, you can put the other one straight back on. Yeah. Easy.
What happens when you get a new pair of shoes?
So that's a bit trickier.
Yeah.
There's tools that exist that help you set the cleats in the same place, like cleat positioning tools. We sell them online, ukbikefit.com/shop.
Great, ukbikefit.com/shop.
Amy10 discount code. Yeah. So you plug the shoe, your old shoe with the cleat on, into the tool, mark where it sits, where the shoe sits on the tool, take it off, put your new shoe on with the cleat on, and then position it so it's in the same spot. Job done. Perfect.
And how do you know where, this is another one that got asked, how do you know where to put your cleat on your shoe? If you've never used them before.
Yeah, okay, so obviously the answer to that is really individual, but if you're looking for a position that's the least risky in terms of causing problems, then the advice around putting the cleat quite far back on your shoe is probably about right. So I just put it as far back as you can, and then again, if we know nothing else about the person, just put it in the middle and then go and see a bike fitter.
So if you want a demonstration, I'm going to take my shoe off while we're eating. Sorry about this, Dan, they don't smell. So this is my shoe. I won't put it too near my chai, but mine is actually right back and pretty much in the middle. So Dan's assessing it.
A lot of the time, like that, just it's like I say, it's a risk-free position.
Yeah.
Like, it's less likely to cause you any problems. Whereas if you're quite far forward, then you can put a lot of pressure on stuff that you don't want to put pressure on. So
yeah, so far back and in the middle. Great stuff. Oh, shine a light, just not your bike over there.
Sweet.
Oh no, Dan's bike. Is that your bike alarm? Right, now that we've caused enough chaos at the cafe, we've decided to go.
Literally, like, alarms going off, everyone's pissed
Everyone's
off.
looking at us. Quickly got a table, basically pushed someone out to get here.
I know, yeah.
I hope that wasn't done by the before.
No, sadly that was already there, but
That was from a crash.
yeah,
It doesn't look like there's any scuffs. Looks like you're alright.
I think it's fine.
Got away with that. It is the worst nightmare though, isn't it, when your bike falls over. Right, so we've come to this point in the route, which is where I say we're turning round. Dan's all willing to go down there, but considering it says public footpath,
Might just be a short bit.
I'm just looking at the Garmin. It's not, look, it goes all the way to that road. It's not very short. So if we go back and left, basically the same way we came, might mean going up a hill, but
Well, of course it does. You've planned the frigging route.
I know. But on to the final question of the day. We're stood by a lump of stinking manure. Dan can confirm it does stink.
That's no way to treat me.
It's actually disgusting. Anyway, the last question is, can crank arms, these little fellas down here, I do know what that part of the bike is, much to your surprise. Can crank arms be too short? And what was the other bit, Dan? I've forgotten.
It's just like what are the advantages
What
and
are the- oh, yeah.
disadvantages of different crank lengths.
Yeah, advantages and disadvantages of different crank lengths.
So, well, firstly, yes, they can be too short. I think, like, we obviously got a few questions about crank length because loads of people are talking about changing cranks and different crank lengths, and it's the World Tour pros are changing cranks, so people are spotting them on bikes and stuff. So on the whole, the normal range of crank length has been too high for too long, and now we know that a slightly shorter crank can be beneficial for a lot of people. Lots of people are going to a shorter crank.
What length would be a short crank?
Well, this is the thing, like
Right.
160s, 165s were probably historically classed as a short crank because that was the shortest that you could get easily, whereas now those sorts of crank lengths are becoming more normal, more middle of the range, and you can get cranks down to like 145 even. But yeah, they can be too short. I think the first thing to note is there's no direct correlation between your height and what crank length is good for you. So if you're 7 foot, it doesn't mean you always need a really long crank, or if you're 5 foot, you don't need a short crank. It's based on lots of different things like hip flexibility, what you're going to use the bike for, what type of riding you do, hamstring length. Because the whole idea of shortening the crank is to try and open the hip angle up at the top of the pedal stroke so you don't get too cramped. And for some people that can help with comfort and power transfer.
Right. Thanks for that.
Any more?
That's it, I think. Have you got anything else to say?
I've got loads to say on cranks.
Oh,
How long do you want
probably
the video to be? Because so
You've got to think about cranks.
yeah, like so I don't want to get too like technical. This could be a video on its own really, but in terms of like force output of a muscle, if a muscle's really stretched or really contracted, it's really weak.
Yeah.
And the muscle is strongest when it's at the middle of its range.
Right.
So again, with crank lengths, when we're talking about hips being flexed, the glutes are on a massive stretch here.
Yeah.
So it's actually really hard to produce power from that point.
Yeah.
But
Can you just do that action again?
What did I do? Like that?
Yeah.
But if you shorten the crank
Yeah.
and the foot goes down, hip opens up,
Yeah.
then you're starting your pedal stroke with the glute in more of a mid-range rather than
Right.
end range.
Yeah.
So in theory, you're able to produce more power.
Right. Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, come on in.
It's the wind.
Your bike's not having a good day today.
But yeah, that's like the premise of it, I suppose.
Wait, what size have I got? Because I've actually forgotten.
I don't know.
I think you did it for
170, is it?
170.
I've seen lots of people since seeing you. No, 165.
165, yeah, we made them shorter, didn't we, for me?
I've got 165 on mine as well, and I'm 6'1", so.
Oh, what's Kyle got?
170?
170, yeah. Yeah. Well, cranks. Let's crank on. We're back in the lovely Duffield, no? Belper. Sorry, got it wrong. It's time to say au revoir.
Au revoir.
So thank you so much for watching. Sorry we didn't answer everybody's questions. It would have gone on all day if we did. Hopefully you've enjoyed that, and we'll do another video again soon. I don't know what our next video will be together, but something. We'll get Kyle in. We'll get Kyle involved. We could do like a training session or something.
Yeah. Oh god.
Try and kill Kyle off. Should we do an interval session with Kyle? I've already decided on this ride that Kyle's doing a cyclocross.
Yeah, oh yeah, we'll get him on that race.
Kyle's doing a cyclocross in November, and we've decided we're going to do some hill climbs as well, so get them involved. But yeah, I'm waffling as usual, so it's time to say thanks so much for watching. TT to the FN. Goodbye.
See ya.